Hello everyone. In today's video, we will learn about the heart tube formation. After the gastrulation is done, we have three germ layers, namely the ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. The mesoderm has three subparts, the paraaxial mesoderm, the intermediate mesoderm and the lateral plate mesoderm. The cardiogenic area is present at the splenchnopleuric layer of the lateral mesoderm. In this cardiogenic area, two endothelial tubes are formed, which soon fuses with each other to form a single tube. Later dilations occur in this tube and we get 5 subparts of the heart tube. The 5 subparts are the sinus venosum, the primitive atrium, primitive ventricle, the bulbous cordis and the truncus arteriosus. Sinus venosus. Sinus venosus has 3 parts: body, the right horn and the left horn. Each horn receives 3 sets of vein: the umbilical vein, which carries the blood from the placenta and is the only source of oxygenated blood, vitelline vein, which carries the blood from the yolk sac, and cardinal vein, which carries the blood from the body. The left horn of sinus venosus regresses and forms the coronary sinus. The proximal part of all the 3 vessels which are present in the left horn also disappears. Coronary sinus carries the venous blood from the heart. In the right horn, the right umbilical vein disappears. Common cardinal vein forms the superior vena cava. The right vitelline vein forms the cranial part of the inferior vena cava. The right horn itself is absorbed into the body of sinus venosus. The second part of our heart tube is the primitive atrium. It is divided into right and left part. The body of sinus venosus along with the right horn is absorbed into the right atrium. The sinus venosus and the right horn together forms the smooth posterior wall of the right atrium, whereas the primitive atrium forms the rough anterior wall. The third part of our heart tube is the primitive ventricle. It forms the trabeculated part or the inflow part of the left ventricle. The fourth part of our heart tube is the bulbous cordis. It is divided into 3 parts: the proximal part, the middle part and the distal part. The proximal 1/3 part forms the trabeculated part of the right ventricle. The middle 1/3 part is also known as the conus part and it forms the smooth infundibular or the outflow part of right and left ventricle. The distal 1/3 part, which is also known as the truncus arteriosus part, it develops the conotruncal or the bulbar septum. This septum divides the truncus arteriosus into pulmonary trunk and aorta. This septum is derived from the neural crest cell. Once all the 5 parts of the heart tube is formed, there occurs an event named as cardiac looping. This starts by around 23rd day. To accommodate in the limited space present in the pericardial cavity, the heart tube starts to bend. The first bend is seen at the junction of the bulbous cordis and the primitive ventricle. The U-shaped loop known as bulboventricular loop is formed. As a result of this U-shaped loop, the sinus venosus and primitive atrium goes above and behind the ventricle, which leads to an adult heart structure. Now, let us summarize everything that we learned in the diagram. Thank you. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you in next video.